All right, let's talk about the A1L flash for Olympus XA series. This was a flash that did not come with a user replaceable battery. It was essentially sold as a consumable item. It only was rated for so many flashes. And when your battery be depleted, you would send it back to Olympus for either, recycling, or maybe they would give you another unit or replace the battery. So that being considered, what can we do with these flashes in the modern era? Well, not much, but maybe we can take a look inside and see if we can maybe change the battery manually. Now, the thing to consider is in all of these flashes, there is a high power capacitor. If you have no idea what that means, do not attempt to open up any flash. Do not attempt to service anything. Here I have an opened A11 flash, and the way that these flashes work is you have a battery. That battery charges a capacitor, a rather large capacitor, and the idea is when, this is why flashes have to charge. You have to move the energy from the battery to the capacitor. And it's about being able to put it into a device where you can release a lot of energy in a short amount of time. A battery cannot release a lot of energy, a lot of current in a short period of time, but a capacitor can. And so the idea is if you have a flash capacitor and you charge it and you trigger the flash, that capacitor will drain a lot of energy into the flash bulb, creating the very bright flash that you need. So I would highly recommend that you never open up a flash unit if you don't know what's involved. The capacitors in these devices could really hurt you. They could actually kill you if you discharge a fully charged capacitor. So, they're going to give you quite a shock, and they could be quite harmful to you. So if you don't know anything about capacitors, if you don't know how to, handle them safely, please do not do anything in this video. I don't want anybody to get hurt. But yeah, let's continue. So I'm really curious, can we replace the battery in this A1L? So it actually works. I'm not going to try it on because I don't want to charge the battery. It's been off for a few weeks. But maybe I'm curious, can we refurbish these units? So let's talk about opening up the A1L. So there is a rubber gasket over top of this area here, and once you remove that, you should have access to the screws. So it looks like it's just cemented down, so you can just pry it up and remove it. And there are a bunch of screws here. There's 3 screws on the bottom, 2 screws on the top. If it's anything like the A11 flash, I should be able just to remove these 2 screws and take the flash apart. I really want to try to avoid turning on the flash because I don't really have a way to remove power, and if there is energy that's input into the flash capacitor, that could create quite a dangerous situation. All right, let's see if that works. Okay. All right, so this guy pops up over here, but it's being caught on this guy over here. So let's just see if I can press down on this and open him up. Now, I've never opened up this unit before, so yeah, let's see what happens. There could be some clips here holding things in. Let's just try to see if I can release a clip. Okay, yeah, looks like you just gotta pry it off, but yeah, that was tough. Unit is fully discharged because it hasn't been turned on in a very long time, but I'm gonna proceed with treating it like it hasn't been discharged. All right, remove this guy over here. There's some yellow circles underneath there, so that could be the battery. But let's see. Let me just double check some voltages here, just so I don't look around. Generally, I've had units where I've been able to measure the voltage across these terminals, and that's been pretty indicative of the actual capacitor voltage. I've got no voltage on there, so that's good. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and remove these screws here. This looks like it could be 1 unit. Okay, there we go. All right. So yeah, let's take a look in here. Inside this unit, we have 2 batteries. Here's your capacitor. It's a 200 volt, 160 farad. Before I do anything else, I'm going to check the voltage across this capacitor because I really don't want to mess around with it. 7.16 volts. All right, just to be, is that 7.16 volts or millivolts? Volts DC. Okay, so I don't want to mess around. I've got a capacitor discharger here. I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can discharge the capacitor. I was just curious. So 160 microfarads. So let's go ahead and just actually see if I can measure that to see. 174 microfarad. And so generally what will happen is that will kind of charge the capacitor. All right, actually discharge it a little bit. Okay, perfect. So that looks to be discharged. So let's take a look at what we got here. So we seem to have a battery, 2 batteries. It looks like they are wired in series. There's a positive terminal and negative terminal, I presume. This is 2 batteries that were made in Japan. It says here they are from National Lithium Battery, Matsushita Electric. And if I look at this date code, this battery was made in 1984, April 1984. And, you know, that kind of actually predates me. So we have a negative wire here, which is connected to this negative terminal here. These two looks like they're actually laser welded or spot welded. I don't know if they had laser welding back then. Have their spot welded bracket connecting them in series. And we have a negative terminal on the battery and a positive terminal on the battery. So just for safety's sake, what I'm going to do, it looks like this is soldered. I'm going to desolder that terminal to try to render this neutral. I don't expect this to kind of be powered on. I have a CR123 lithium battery here, and you know what? Like, it's not quite a perfect match, but they are similar in size. But, you know, I've got my soldering iron heated up. Let's go ahead and just remove this terminal. All right, the negative terminal is removed. Let's go ahead and remove the positive terminal. Okay, positive terminal removed. So the batteries are no longer connected to the circuit. So I have confidence that these batteries will not charge the capacitor. And just to double check, my capacitor is discharged. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious how they put this in here. I would imagine that, here you've got to clearly have a plastic bracket, but is it adhered? Is there an adhesive? There's no mechanical connection over here. Oh, it does look like it's glued in. Over here, it does look like it's glued in. Okay, so I do see some tape here. This looks like an adhesive tape. So I'm just going to go ahead and just take this guitar pick and see if I can just pry around the adhesive. Okay, here we go. All right. So here are the batteries for the A1L. They are, it says here, they are BR 2/3 A 3 volt, made in 1984, and these two are in series. So I'm kind of curious, what's the voltage left on these batteries? Let's take a look. Here's the positive terminal. And here's the negative terminal. 6.295. So I mean, these batteries still have some juice in them left. Okay, well, hope that's interesting, and that's what's inside the A1L. Again, please do not disassemble these flashes if you do not know anything about electronics or the dangers around capacitors. This is really not something that you should do without any knowledge of how to handle electronics safely in the face of very large, scary capacitors that have the potential of seriously harming you. Thank you.